Welcome back to the channel, your local bedhead here. So I figured, you know what we would do? We would go ahead and introduce you to the new background for now. It's obviously not all put together yet. I plan on adding more stuff in the background. This is just what it looks like for right now, only because I need to get back to filming content. I have been slacking quite a bit in filming content, so I need to go ahead and jump back into it, and I thought what would be a good thing to do, and I'm sitting here thinking, slapped ham. We should just watch some paranormal content and see if we can debunk some stuff and just have some fun overall. So if you like this type of content, want to see this kind of content continue, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. I will try to do more of this stuff, and yes, I will be getting back into paranormal investigations. I've been saying that for a while, but recently I just felt kind of burnt out on watching paranormal investigations and ghost hunts. I don't know. It just started hitting me. It's one of the reasons why I started gaming a little bit more, because I'm just like, I need to take a little bit of a break. I know there are people who like, I only watch your content for the paranormal investigation reactions, and I'm like, I understand that. I really, really do. But understand that I'm sure you guys get burnt out on several things yourselves, and even burnt out on my channel. I have no doubt about it. So I think it's a good idea just to take a step back and be like, okay, calm down. Calm down. They're not going anywhere. You can react to them later. Just do something different and get your mind off it. And that's what I've been doing. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's go ahead and dive into this video, and I'll give you guys my thoughts during and after the video. Okay. And what do you think of this, by the way, this little different kind of setup where I am a small screen on the big screen, and we're just gonna watch things like this. I'll kind of zoom in every once in a while on me so you guys can kind of see my face more. But I felt like this might be a nice little change up right here. Up to you. Let me know what you think in the comments section. You know, I kind of like the coloring in the background now that I look at it. Okay. Anyways, I'm sorry. I'm nerding out. All right. Let's go slapped ham.
How you doing? I'm Callan, and this is Slapped Ham. You're about to witness the scariest videos that have hit the internet this week. So hit that subscribe button and get ready for more creepy content. Just like this.
Be a judge of that.
Dashcam footage from Avondale, Arizona has gone viral after viewers spotted something unnerving lurking on the side of the road.
This looks vaguely familiar, like I have genuinely seen this before. I feel like there's millions of videos like this, though, so let's... Anyways. Ah! Nope, I have not seen it.
The clip was captured on Lower Buckeye Road, an area locals say already has a reputation for strange sightings, especially at night. As the car cruises down the dark highway, a shape suddenly appears on the right hand.
Okay.
As the car cruises down the dark highway, a shape suddenly...
Well, it kind of just emerges out of nowhere, I noticed.
appears on the right.
Doesn't look like it has... No, it might have a shadow. It might have a shadow. The shadow might be going that way. Okay. Okay.
Right hand side.
Yeah, I saw it.
When slowed down, it looks like some kind of crouching figure. Humanoid, but distorted. Almost as if it's watching the passing vehicles.
Well, what it looks like... Okay, I genuinely think this is fake. And the biggest reason why I genuinely think it's fake is, for one, it looks so much more blurry than the other images in the background. I mean, this thing looks so fucking blurry. You can't make out anything on this, and I feel like you at least would have been able to make out something here. But it almost looks like someone took a blur effect over whatever would be standing in the road and just completely blurred it out. I'm not even sure if I see a shadow with it. Like, is this the shadow right here? Maybe? I don't know. It looks like whatever it is, though, it's turned around. So this would be its ass. There's its back all hunched up, and there's a head. It kind of looks like someone took like an image of just a normal demon you would see in any of these crazy found footage things and just blurred it out and put it on the side of the road. Even the way it's kind of building up, I mean, it just kind of comes out of nowhere. It's just like you'll see it. It's not like standing there to begin with. It just looks like it was added in a few seconds after that car passes by it.
Familiar with the area, claim
like it just popped up, like liquefied itself on screen.
it's not the first time something strange
And again, I didn't see any shadow or nothing like that. I mean, you could say it's a ghost or it's a spirit or nothing, and maybe it doesn't have a shadow. Fair, I guess, but it just looks a little too added in after, if that makes sense. It just feels like it's added in.
Has been seen there. One user said, I pass through here every day. The amount of stuff I've seen, the fact they have no city lights through here tells you everything.
Well, that just means there's no city lights there. And that means anything that's remotely on the side of the road could maybe freak you out a little bit more because it's not like illuminated by anything, right? So like if an animal, I literally almost hit an animal the other day, but thankfully we had street lights. And a dog, a big husky dog, walked out in front of the vehicle as I was heading back home from work. And this was probably around 6:20, 6:30 in the morning when this happened, and this dog just walks out. I could tell what it was. At first, though, it took me a second. I'm like, what the hell is that? And it was, because it looked like a fucking bear walking out, you know? But I was like, oh, pale, you know, a white bear out in the middle of Ohio? I doubt it. So it was a dog. It was a big freaking dog holding a dead animal. And it was probably going home, probably to take it back to its owner, which that must have been fun. Looked like a rabbit, I'm assuming. Any animal might, you know, take you by surprise if there's no lights to illuminate. So, I mean, that literally could be what anybody might say. I saw something very weird. Well, you know, animals can look weird sometimes, too. Animals sometimes get hit by vehicles and they survive. Sometimes they catch illnesses. And they might look odd to some people out in the middle of the night. That's a reality. It's not like everything, you know, is paranormal. It's a ghost or a demon or a creature of some sort. Yeah, it might be taking the fun away from that, but that to me looked like it was added in. This one already, I'm just going to go ahead and just say, just not believable.
Others weren't so calm. Some swore they'd never drive Lower Buckeye at night again. So what exactly is this figure? A trick of the light? A person caught mid-step? A stray animal distorted by motion blur? Or something else entirely?
2024? Yeah. I'd say, well, when was this posted? Because maybe back then, you know, the effects weren't that good. But 2024, I could see someone being able to pull something like that off and then blurring the image so you can't really see it. Even though he acknowledged it was blurry as fuck, so you can't even make anything out.
TikTok user Shay328.
Okay, so automatically, TikTok videos, I'm not sure if the last one was a TikTok video. If it was, you know, fine. But TikTok videos, I'm already skeptical of. TikTok videos to me are almost all the time just fake, for the most part, at least. There might be some out there that might be very convincing, but other than that, I noticed it over there. Is that a head poking out of the... Oh, okay. See a head poking up?
Zero recently went viral after capturing some unsettling footage while babysitting.
Yeah.
Shay was filming a perfectly innocent video of the child she was watching for the evening. Nothing out of the ordinary, just a cute moment.
And then look up.
But then viewers noticed something in the background, something Shay hadn't seen at the time.
Okay. So, obviously, there is something back there. Could be stairs going up, right? I'd assume. Actually, that's exactly what it is, just stairs. So you have someone probably standing on the stairs, poking their head around the corner, and then backing away. It's a very common ghostly kind of thing that we all expect to see in a video or two here from there, right? That's pretty common anymore. Okay, so yeah, not really buying that one.
Near the doorway, impossibly high up by the ceiling, a head with long dark hair slowly peeks around the corner.
And also, I know she's supposed to be paying attention to the kid. How do you not notice a head poke around a corner like that? I would have noticed it right away. Especially where I have my phone pointing at my kid walking around. There's no way you would not have seen that head poking around. Well, it was actually caught in the phone, and the person could... It's as clear as day, has a shadow. I can see the shadow right there underneath the hair. How do you not see it? Yeah, no. Nope, just looks like a girl sticking her head around the corner and then backing away really quick.
The head lingers for a brief second, then slips back out of sight.
That one, I believe, was actually a person.
The clip exploded online, racking up more than 6 million views as people debated what the mysterious figure could be.
Did they actually walk over and show us, like, what is behind there?
A prank, a lurking intruder, or something not quite human?
No, I think it's someone standing on something. Just...
Here's a quick and strange one captured during the Northern Ireland Open snooker tournament.
One of the balls
As the player lines up his shot, everything looks perfectly normal until something odd happens.
The dead silence theme comes on. That's pretty.
I think he thought the red moved as he was about to play it.
It's extremely hard to notice on the first watch,
Yeah,
but when you
it does
slow
move
the
over a little
footage
bit.
down, you can clearly see it. The ball moves all on its own.
Just not controlling that cue ball well enough.
He's right. It did move. Right.
He didn't touch it. He didn't touch the ball because you would have seen the shadow connect with that shadow. So it looks like it still has a distance to it. Someone under the thing trying to cheat? Maybe? Maybe? Maybe the leveling? No, I would think that that's probably not a common occurrence here, right? I'm curious. Let me know down in the comments what you think this is.
So was it a trick of physics, an air disturbance, or something nobody's figured out yet?
They're pretty decently heavy. I don't think wind would, like a breeze would blow it like that. I could be wrong though. Oh, good.
Urbex Hill is one of the most well-known urban exploring channels on YouTube.
Okay.
Run by Chris Hill, the channel dives deep into abandoned buildings across North America, especially the forgotten.
Well, I can already tell you from looking at the shape of this place, it would not surprise me if the wind fucks with something here. This place looks like it's going to cave in any second now. Just like all the pieces of it just are going to go collapsing on one another. This thing looks like it's barely being held together.
Decaying structures of Cleveland,
Unbelievable.
Ohio, where Chris grew up.
Did you say Ohio?
Decaying structures of Cleveland, Ohio, where Chris
Cleveland.
grew up.
That's 3 hours from me. Yeah, I wouldn't even want to walk in here. Was that a person?
In this episode, Chris explores an infamous stretch of East Cleveland known for its row of crumbling, deserted apartment blocks.
Oh, this place looks very familiar. Like I have definitely seen someone come here before. That is so wicked though. Dude, there has to be homeless people everywhere. If I was homeless, this is exactly where I'd go.
One by one, he moves through each building, documenting the destruction left behind after decades of neglect.
Oh, Ernie and Santa. Snoopy, Ernie and
Slowly,
Snoopy.
he moves through the dark and eerie rooms. But then, things start getting strange.
This place has seen its fair share of disasters. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, just random people have come into this building with sledgehammers and just start busting this place up. Because it looks like there was, like, giant, like, holes in some of the bricks, and I'm like, that would not surprise me if people just do it just to do it. A door's moving? Yep.
The door behind him suddenly moves, seemingly all on its own.
Okay, but
It's
that's
subtle,
also...
but
But that's no surprise, too. Look how thin some of these doors are. It would not take much of a breeze to blow one of those open or shut. I guarantee you go here at late at night, you'll probably hear many doors open and shut because so much access to the outside, first off. The place is falling apart. The doors are thin wherever he's walking. Yeah, I have no doubt that you would hear so much noise around here.
undeniably eerie.
I'd be creeped out. I'd be scared.
Chris keeps
Look at this
exploring
place.
until he reaches a hallway lined with old padlocked rooms.
Must have been like for storage, I'm assuming. Maybe.
And this is where the creepiest moment of the video happens.
Someone standing there. Door slammed shut. Somebody runs by. Scooby-Doo.
If you slow the footage down and zoom in, you can see what looks like a figure in one of the locked rooms.
That is 110%. Either it's a Halloween decoration, or, because that would not surprise me if someone left a Halloween decoration. I mean, people have left Snoopy and Ernie, for God's sakes. That would not surprise me if that was a decoration of some sort. But, because if it was storage, you better believe there'd probably be some people with decorations. I would love to go back there and look in there and see. So I have a feeling that's a setup right there. I have a feeling. Only because they have to pass by it. You know?
Chris didn't notice it while filming, only later while editing the footage. Eventually, Chris finishes his exploration and leaves the neighborhood, completely unaware that he may not have been alone.
No, I mean... Dude, if it's not like an actual person, I guarantee you that, because nobody would be dressed like that and be as pale as that and covered in black like that just trying to survive. I feel like you could definitely tell if the person or whoever was actually a person living there, like a homeless person. That didn't come off like a homeless person to me. That came off like genuinely a Halloween decoration being caught in the background. And I'm going to go ahead and give him a little bit of leeway, saying that's probably what happened, is he caught a decoration like that, because you best believe there are decorations that look exactly like that. A woman in a black robe, pale face, black lipstick, black on the eyes. There's absolutely Halloween decorations out there that look exactly like that. I almost guarantee you that's what it was. That it? Cool. Cool. I do like exploring videos like that, though, so that was kind of neat to watch.
TikTok user Rosalind422 went mega viral earlier this year after posting an unsettling moment caught during a late-night video call with her husband. The clip shows her lying in bed the night after her uncle passed away. Everything seems normal at first until something strange happens. Her hair suddenly lifts, as if someone gently tugged at it. The video...
Okay, his reaction isn't all too believable, because he looks like he's smiling when looking at it happening. He's covering his mouth, but he's smiling. The night after my uncle killed himself. I don't know. They seem very happy, though.
Exploded online, reaching more than 18 million views.
Not saying they can't. You know, they're probably just talking and, you know, all that, but...
With thousands of commenters convinced she had caught a paranormal moment on film.
Because it looks like something is happening up here first. Something's moving her hair up here, and then grabs her hair and starts moving it upwards that way.
In a follow-up story time, Rosalind explained exactly why they were recording in the first place.
We were recording simply because my husband seen my hair do it the first time, and he was like, your hair is moving. And at first I was like, no, it's not. Like, I couldn't feel it.
Her husband had already seen her hair move once, off camera. Thinking he was imagining it, he started recording, and it happened again.
We also don't acknowledge that there's a bit of a gust of wind right here, too. That's moving this. And they're inside, so I'm assuming some sort of vent or something is around there, or a window's cracked or something. Okay, well, that would explain why he might be smiling a little bit more, with him smiling and whatnot, and kind of like laughing when her hair does start get played with, because he already seen it happen once. So, okay, that could explain that. Maybe he's like, you know, in that moment of like, oh, no, it is happening. Like, holy shit, I knew I saw that kind of thing.
She also cleared up accusations that she was moving her own hair. She shows her hand placement, explains she was heavily pregnant and physically unable to be lying on her stomach, and notes that the movement happened at the top of her head, not a place she could have reached undetected.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't have assumed it was her moving it anyways. I would have assumed it was somebody else moving it.
Lynn admits the moment terrified her, but for her own peace of mind, she chose to believe it was her uncle stopping by one last time.
Hold on. I want to go back a little bit. And she's laying on her side right now, so she's facing the phone towards this way.
Lynn admits the moment terrified her, but for her own peace of mind, she chose to believe it was her uncle stopping by one last time.
Okay, so if you're pregnant, I don't know if that was the truth. And again, I hope you guys saw why I say that. Because if she was, she would have turned around on her back completely and then lifted herself up. But instead, she turns around towards the bed, the opposite way, completely turning around, which would have had her stomach touching the bed, to look. But she used that as an explanation on why she could not be messing with her hair. Yeah, because she turns her head this way. So she has to be facing the phone. And then she flips her body around. Yeah, no, if you're pregnant, I assume you would have laid on your back and flipped around the other way. Instead, you flip around the way where I think that because, you said you're pregnant, you would not want to do that. I don't know, that doesn't really add up right there because you said that's the reason why you could not have been touching your own hair and messing with your own hair. But yet, you still did that. I don't know. Potentially, maybe, but some things don't really add up too much right there.
The situation unfolding around the Houston bayous has become one of the strangest and most unsettling real-world mysteries of the past year. Dozens of bodies have been recovered from waterways across the city: Buffalo Bayou, Brays Bayou, White Oak Bayou, and
Shit ton of
several
bayous.
others, with 23 bodies found this year alone and 39 over the last 12 months.
This is the 7th such discovery in just the past month. Divers pulled the man's body out of the bayou yesterday morning near White Oak Drive and Gladys Street. This marks the 23rd body recovered from a Houston area bayou this year.
Police insist
Holy
there's
shit.
no serial killer, pointing instead to accidents, drownings, suicides, and homelessness. But with 2/3 of the deaths still listed as undetermined, and with the hot, humid environment destroying evidence before investigators can analyze it, many Houstonians aren't convinced. Into this confusion comes a new wave of fear. Eyewitness reports of a mysterious creature spotted near the bayous.
Oh, is there video footage of this?
Instagram creator Shine Bright with Star began compiling these accounts after one user claimed they'd seen some kind of animal-human creature on Hirsch Road, describing it as huge, black-eyed, and capable of leaping across the entire street before diving into the water.
This animal creature thing was huge. It did have big black eyes. It jumped 3 feet from the circle here, then it jumped to here. This creature looked both ways, and then it jumped into the water.
After that post, dozens of Houstonians came forward with their own stories.
Many of you guys have also seen something very strange in the Houston area. From Southeast Houston to North Houston to West Houston. There may be something lurking in the Houston area.
One woman said she watched a tall, shadow-like figure crawl across the rooftops near Chimney Rock, stretching its arm from one building to the next before pulling itself over.
And she said, girl, that must be a giant, because she was far away.
Okay, yes, but how do you not see a giant? You got to ask yourself those questions. Okay, if there's actually a giant roaming around, how are not more people seeing this thing? If it's leaping like that, I just don't understand that. I don't understand how do we not see this, right?
And it still looked huge.
Another recalled a story her older brother.
Yeah, if it's as tall as that right there, yeah. It'd be pretty freaking obvious if this thing is trying to walk around trees and stuff. He'd probably walk into several of them, or he or she would probably walk around in trees, probably snapping those twigs. There's no way in hell nobody would have noticed that thing.
Told skipping school in the 90s and stumbling across a massive creature deep in the woods by the bayou. Something he could only describe as a giant black man-shaped figure, unlike anything he'd ever seen.
And he told her that that's the only thing that he could describe it as, or something similar.
And these aren't isolated comments, and they're coming from different parts of the city, different dates, different people, all describing similar sightings. So between the unusually high number of bodies, the lack of answers, and now a growing archive of eyewitness reports, one has to wonder, is something lurking in the Houston bayous?
My personal opinion, extremely doubtful. If you want to sit there and believe that this is what's possibly going on, I'm not going to tell you what you should and shouldn't believe in. I just feel like a serial killer, unfortunately, depression gets to a lot of people. They can't handle it, and they do these things, if you haven't noticed. One of the things I did notice about the area where supposedly they're pulling bodies is there's a lot of roads over these bayous, and I would not be surprised if people just jump.
Is a strange one out of Chile's Patagonia.
We got UFO. I do like me some UFO shit.
A wildlife camera trap, part of a University of Magallanes project, captured 3 rapid photos showing brilliant lights descending toward the camera. The trap was deep in wilderness, far from roads or towns, and had taken over 365,000 images with nothing like this before. Researchers immediately ruled out hoaxes due to strict protocols. Experts examined the photos, aviation authorities, atmospheric scientists, even the La Serena UFO Museum, but no one agreed on an explanation. Some suggested an insect near the lens triggered the camera, but that still doesn't explain the intense moving light. Others proposed a plasmoid, a rare natural plasma similar to ball lightning, yet there were no storms or conditions that could produce one. The local Mapuche people have long described mysterious bad lights drifting across the fields, raising the possibility that this camera captured a long-reported regional phenomenon. One analysis suggested that if the object was distant, it may have been moving at nearly 600 miles per hour. Another suggested 2 events occurred at once.
Okay, well, there's obviously some sort of light going on here. Not really bugs, but like, because these are lit up right here. And it looks like the ground's lit up. Unless that's the flash from the camera. Do these things have flashes? If they do, then that might explain why there's a little bit of illumination going on right here. And maybe if these are bugs or anything and it's a flash, maybe that could explain it. If this is one of the lights, then it looks like it has wings. That looks like wings. This one's very close. I can't really tell. Yeah, the bug thing's not a bad concept, especially if this is a camera that actually likes to flash.
An insect triggering the sensor, and an unexplained light appearing in the distance. Investigators are now planning field research at the site, hoping the phenomenon returns during the project's next 10 years of monitoring. For now, what the camera saw remains unknown. Natural plasma, atmospheric...
Yeah, it just makes more sense that it'd be more blurry. If it's a flashing, it's more blurry the closer it is, and the farther it is, you see more details about it. So I'd actually believe that maybe, potentially bats or bugs are flying around and maybe setting off the camera. There's one right back here, too. Can't really make that out. It might just be reflectiveness from like some sort of metal, and maybe the flash got it. Yeah.
Anomaly or something we haven't categorized yet.
I just want to preface by saying, anytime I tell this story to someone new, they never believe me. Even when I show them the photo, they're like, that was edited, that's not real.
Well,
Here's
we'll
a
see.
Chilling ghost story from TikTok user Jordan De Pascal.
Oh, great.
And this one comes with a photo that's hard to explain.
The photo is not doctored in any way, shape,
Surprise
or
me.
form. This happened like a decade ago, and I've been telling the same story and showing the same photo to my friends and family for the past decade. So I promise you this is not fake.
Jordan says the encounter happened about a decade ago, back when she and her now husband were students in Dahlonega, Georgia, an old gold rush town full of history and ghost stories. One night, they joined a guided ghost tour around campus. Jordan had been casually snapping photos throughout the tour, but when they arrived at one particular house, she suddenly felt a strange urge to step away from the group and take a picture. She walked about 20 feet to the left, alone. Her husband, still with the group, watched her break away. No one was near her, no animals, no people, nothing. Later, scrolling through her photos, Jordan froze. There, clear as day in the bottom left corner, was a face. She showed the guide, who was stunned. There was simply no one standing beside her when the picture was taken.
Unfortunately, I can see why she would get those criticisms. How dark it is, how blurry it is, how grainy it is, just how smudged it all looks. It truthfully does look like you could have easily had added a face in there. And all the problems that I would expect to see from like a fake paranormal video photo, it's pretty much got those down. And it would be very easy to add something like this. I could probably add something like this in a photo that I could probably put together. Fine, that's fair. Okay, if this is your own personal experience, then that's amazing. But like, truthfully, it looks fake. It looks much more fake than I was expecting.
Jordan insists the image is untouched, and she's shown the same photo for over a decade, always met with the same disbelief.
I can see
the
why.
night didn't end there. When she and her husband returned to their car, parked in a public lot, the passenger door was wide open and every light inside the vehicle was on. Nothing was stolen, nothing was disturbed. The door was just open.
And I get up there and my purse is in the front seat. Just nothing had been taken. The door was just wide open and the lights were on for no reason. And we definitely did not leave it that way. So that was weird.
Jordan says they definitely hadn't left it that way. And after seeing that photo, she can't shake the feeling that something followed them.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I want to give people the benefit of the doubt. I really do. I want to.
Here's a strange claim making waves in both physics circles and spiritual.
I want to, but there's a part of me now that's very, very skeptical. Very skeptical. I go into anything and everything with a grain of salt, and I've been doing that this entire time. But when it looks too obvious to me, I gotta point it out.
Communities. The idea that human consciousness might not come from the brain at all, but from hidden dimensions of the universe. Physicist Dr. Michael Pravica, a Harvard-trained researcher who specializes in high-pressure science and X-ray spectroscopy, believes consciousness could be rooted in dimensions beyond the four we experience: height, width, depth, and time. To explain the concept, Pravica uses a simple analogy. Imagine a two-dimensional being, flat, like a character in a comic strip. If a three-dimensional sphere passed through that world, that 2D creature wouldn't see the sphere. They'd only see a dot appear and grow, then shrink and disappear. It's for a unified picture.
I'm too stupid for this. I know. It's gonna be like, how dare you? I get it, but fuck.
Here's a deeply unsettling encounter that left one homeowner terrified
Hacked home security
inside
system.
her own home. It began as an ordinary evening. The house was quiet, nothing seemed out of place. But when the homeowner
Until something was.
realized someone else was watching too, and this stranger wasn't just listening, they were talking.
Who's that?
It's none of your business. Don't move.
The first thing it says is chillingly direct. Hey, don't move.
Hey, don't move.
The what?
Hey, don't move.
Startled, the woman asks who's speaking.
It's none of your business. Don't move.
Fuck.
It's not
Hey,
my
I need you to answer me
business.
something right now.
You're in front of my camera. Who's this? I mean, who's
I need you to
talking?
answer some questions right now. Don't move.
From there, the tone becomes more aggressive.
Don't make me up. Who are you? Is this a joke?
Then things take an even stranger turn.
Did she just flip off the camera?
The voice begins asking whether she drives a pink Camaro,
Fuck.
repeating the question over and over with mounting insistence.
Who are
Do
you?
you drive the pink Camaro?
Who are you?
Do you drive the pink Camaro?
That's when you get on the phone and call the police. Why the fuck are you even asking questions anymore? Just fucking call the police at that point. Don't even play that game. Just get on the phone. Get over here being stalked.
How do you know? Who are you?
Well, don't tell them. Oh, you're already doing everything wrong. Like, I would turn off that security camera first off and then be calling the police.
Yes or no? Do you drive the pink Camaro?
Who are you? It's not your business what I drive. Who are you?
It is my business.
The homeowner, now clearly frightened, tries to push back. She warns the intruder that she'll call the police and tells them to leave her alone. But the voice doesn't stop.
I'm asking you a serious
You don't have to
question.
talk
You
me
have
from my camera. I'm going to call the police. Go away and leave me
It's
alone.
none of their business. It's our business. It's
Go away and leave me alone. What are you doing in front of my camera?
This sounds like a troll. An absolute troll. It's none of their business. It's our business. Just fucking shut the fuck up.
Instead, it becomes even more
Can't stand people.
unnerving. The stranger claims to know everything about her life, when she leaves the house, when she sleeps, even what she eats.
I know what you do. I know the times you leave. I know the times y'all sleep. I know what you eat. I know
Oh,
everything.
really?
I know the whole entire pattern. So get in front of the camera and let me see you.
The clip has since spread across social media, with viewers shocked by how easily a home camera can be hijacked.
Yeah, so this person's probably been watching her for God knows how long, if he has the routine down, and just decided to make his presence known there and then to her that, oh yeah, by the way, I am watching you. Like, this person has nothing better to do. It might be even someone who knows her actually personally. Doubtful. But because he wants to see what she looks like. But he probably already has seen her if he just been watching through the cameras. So,
Hijacked by
Crazy.
someone with
Psychotic.
the right tools or the wrong intentions. Experts warn that unsecured smart devices are a growing target for hackers, and incidents like this are becoming increasingly common. Others, however, think there's more to it. Was the intruder someone who knew the homeowner personally? Was the mention of the pink
Would not surprise
Camaro
me.
a clue or a threat?
this right here, this shit right here is actually scary. It actually makes me want to avoid security cameras, specific security cameras. I couldn't, I'd be losing my shit.
And how long had this person been watching her without her knowing?
I know what you do. I know the times you leave. I know
For a
the times
while,
y'all sleep.
obviously.
I know what you eat. I know everything. I know the whole entire pattern. So get in front of the camera and let me see you.
So what do you think happened here? A random hack or something?
But it doesn't sound like he's using any sort of voice changer. Sounds like he's just using his normal voice. Try to figure out who around you or who the fuck sounds like that, and maybe you got an idea. But that's if, like, she knows them personally. If she knew them personally, she would have recognized the voice.
More targeted and unsettling.
You gotta confess, or you'll see. Or you're about to see. Don't make me.
You know, when I go, I'm going to call the police.
Don't make me.
You need to call the police.
You don't push me there. You want to push me there?
What an asshole. That's why you keep a hefty little weapon in your house. All right, show yourself, fucking psycho.
Here's some eerie dashcam footage captured late
I
at
ain't playing
night.
that shit. That's exactly what it would have been too. I'd have been like, or if you're a friend, you better tell me now, because the gun's coming out, and if I even hear a noise outside my house, I'm open firing. I don't even care at that point. You better think twice. That's what I do. I show them the gun in the camera. You want to see what I look like?
A couple was slowly driving past the aftermath of a roadside accident when something strange crossed their path.
Didn't really look like anybody's vehicles were damaged though. It looks like a vehicle might be. What?
As they inch forward, the dashcam picks up something lingering near the edge of the road. The figure moves across the road. Moments later, the figure disappears into the bushes, dissolving into the darkness as though it was never there at all. The clip has quickly gone viral, with thousands of viewers weighing in. A growing number of commenters believe the figure looks eerily like La Muerte, the Grim Reaper.
It literally could be just someone in a robe. And it's almost their reactions to it that are making me kind of think it's fake. They're freaking out, they're screaming, they're getting all antsy, and everybody else is just kind of minding their own business. I don't know, everybody else is acting normal and fine. Even the guy on a motorcycle just went along with his day. But they're the only ones kind of making, like, pulling off the side, freaking out and screaming and whatnot and freaking out. I don't know. It just, their reactions are really what kind of make me draw back a little bit.
Silently crossing the road to claim the souls involved in the crash.
Okay, but then why did it go into the bushes and not towards the supposed wreck, which didn't even look like a wreck? It's creepy. It's a creepy concept. It's just, I'm destroyed.
Before we get to part 3 of our in-depth look at the screaming skulls of England, remember to help us out by giving this episode a thumbs up, leaving some comments below and sharing it on your socials. This is part 3 of our deep dive into the strange and long-standing tradition of England's screaming skulls. Today we're heading to the windswept hills of Derbyshire, to a lonely farmhouse so steeped in legend, locals still whisper its name. This is the story of Dickie of Tunstead Farm, perhaps the most famous guardian skull of the entire Peak District. Tunstead Farm lies on the slopes of Combs Edge between Chapel and Lefrith and Whaley Bridge. Hidden among a small cluster of houses known as Tunstead Milton, the farmhouse sits exposed on the high ground, battered by winds, surrounded by ancient moorland, and known locally by a single unsettling nickname, Skull Farm. For more than 3 centuries, the skull of a mysterious figure, affectionately called Dickie or Dick, was kept inside its walls. Not as a curiosity, but as a protector. Local tradition insists that Dickie acted as a guardian spirit watching over the land, the livestock, and the family who lived there.
Good for Dickie.
Visitors in the 1800s and 1900s described him as a genius loci, a supernatural presence tied to the very foundations of the farm. And according to those who lived with him, Dickie didn't stay quiet. Residents claimed the skull would knock or rap when strangers approached the property. He was said to wake the farmer if a
Did he say the skull would rap?
cow fell ill. Another early writer noted that doors would often open to his hand, and that he had done many good offices for the household. But the warnings came with a condition: the skull had to stay. If anyone removed Dickie from the farm, the consequences were immediate. Cows died, crops failed, storms battered the property. Witnesses even claimed to see a woman's ghost or a black spectral dog roaming the grounds, signs of Dickie's displeasure. But Dickie's most legendary tale doesn't involve a ghostly apparition at all. It involves the railway. In the 1860s, engineers from the London...
Wait, are we going to see any footage for this one, or is this just a story? It's just a story! It's a fascinating story, it's interesting, but it's just a story, okay.
The Northwestern Railway tried to lay a new line between Whaley Bridge and Buxton. Their planned route passed dangerously close to...
This is like 12 real scary videos of ghosts, UFOs, and strange creatures. Okay, so it's more of a story than a video.
Tunstead Farm, right through Dickie's territory. Almost immediately, the work fell apart. Foundations collapsed, bridges failed overnight, tools were swallowed by unstable quicksand and bog. Engineers could make no progress. Locals had an explanation: Dickie didn't want the line built here. Eventually, the company diverted the railway onto higher ground, bypassing the farm entirely. The resulting structure became known as Dickie's Bridge. The incident was so well known that poet Samuel Laycock published a song called An Address to Dickie in 1863, jokingly praising the skull for defeating the railway company. But as with many guardian skulls, the question remains...
As with many guardian skulls, like this is a common thing.
Whose skull was it? Several competing stories exist.
That was
One popular
Dickie's.
tale says the skull belonged to Ned Dixon, a soldier from the farm who fought in France during the Huguenot Wars. According to this version, Ned returned home only to be murdered by jealous relatives. His bones refused to rest until his skull was placed inside the house. But historians believe this story was likely a 19th century invention, written to satisfy tourists hungry for a dramatic legend.
We know about that stuff, don't we?
Different picture. Writers in 1809 and 1852 recorded that locals believed the skull belonged to a woman, one of two sisters who quarreled over a lover.
Okay, well...
In this tale, the murdered sister vowed that her bones would never rest unless her skull remained in the staircase window at Tunstead Farm. And then there's the most intriguing theory of all. A surgeon who examined the skull before 1940 concluded it belonged to a young woman around 18. Historian William Brailsford Bunting later proposed that the skull didn't belong to any known resident at all, but came from a prehistoric barrow on the moor above the farm. Cadster, a nearby site...
So that's what was my first assumption, was like, why don't you get somebody to actually investigate the skull and then figure out whether it was a male or female? You'd be able to tell, right? That would have been my first assumption to do, so we're not sitting here theorizing about what it is, right? So is Dickie is that the spirit? I'm assuming that they just decided to give a name to. I really don't know. Like, this whole Dickie thing, I guess that's just what they decided to call the phenomena that was happening there. Was Dickie was doing this, I guess. Kind of like how Robert did this. Okay. If it's true, I don't even know if it's true, but I doubt he would be telling the story if it wasn't like a real folklore or something.
Contains cans and a possible Bronze Age stone circle. It's entirely possible the skull was removed centuries ago from one of these ancient burial mounds, and somehow became enshrined in local tradition as a protective relic. Dickie remained in the farmhouse until the mid-20th century.
I feel like it would be...
But when the property...
I feel like it would do the opposite, though. Like, aren't you not supposed to take things from burial grounds? Wouldn't it have, like, the opposite effect? Like, it would cause trouble, supposedly, if we're going to go by, like, folklore and urban legends? That, I would assume. It's like every movie now that you see, like, oh, what did you do? What did you take from the grave? You went to the burial ground? Why? Oh, this is built on a burial ground, and it's like, this is why all this negative stuff's happening. But apparently, taking a skull from a burial ground, potentially, could actually help save something.
Changed hands in the 1940s, the tradition began to fade. The skull itself crumbled with age. By the 1970s, curious visitors constantly sought it out, and one new owner, tired of the attention, secretly buried the remains in the garden on the advice of a pastor. No one knows the skull's whereabouts today. Its resting place is lost. But for centuries, Dickie of Tunstead Farm was more than just a bone behind a wall. He was a guardian, a sentinel, and, if you believe the stories, a force that shaped the very landscape around him. So what do you think? Was Dickie a relic of ancient ritual, a misunderstood piece of local archaeology, or something far stranger that watched over the moors of Derbyshire for hundreds of years?
Well, I mean, that would be kind of badass to believe in this skull had an actual, like, overall power over this land. I think that is a cool idea and a cool concept. They should really make an actual movie based on that concept alone. I think that'd be really fun. Back then, specifically back then, where we weren't really trying to debunk, where we weren't trying to look at the logical sides of things. Some people were. They were like, you know, maybe this was a story made up by a bunch of people just to give it like atmosphere and make it sound cooler for locals and whatnot. And people kind of took acknowledgement of that too, which is cool to hear that people were like, man, I think that's actually just a bullshit story someone made up. Good. People back then, you know, they actually thought about that stuff too. But back then also, people didn't really look into this stuff as just a natural kind of thing and maybe coincidence. They didn't like that. They didn't love to look at it like that. But back then, they probably would have seen like a skull involved and, you know, something bad happened on the property and being like, I told you we should have gotten rid of that skull. I knew that skull was bad. Maybe it's the skull that's helping us. Maybe that, I feel like that would be a very easy thing to do. It'd be kind of nice to have a face to go with the explanation, right? And I think the skull may have worked in those regards if there was a skull. Sounds like there's just a bunch of urban legend stories around this thing, just a bunch of stories. I don't even know if the skull is real. I don't even know if anything that this story, you know, insinuated was real. But I will say, I think it was a fun story nonetheless. Most of the stuff I feel like are pretty easily explained. Some of the stuff, the grainy stuff, the blurriness of some of the imagery, it's too flawed. It's too imperfect. And most of the time when I feel like something is fake, well, they kind of fall in line with that kind of shit. So let me know what you think in the comments section. If you like this type of content, want this kind of content, continue to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you so much for joining me. Go support the original video, because without that original video, this reaction would not have happened. Until next time, take care.
Throwing down.